Hello, everybody. I am Reverend Sue Frederick. I'm the author of 8 books, including Through a Divine Lens and Bridges to Heaven, True Stories of Loved Ones on the Other Side. I'm also a master numerologist. I've used sacred numerology to guide clients since 1980. And I'm an ordained unity minister, certified meditation teacher, and a soul regression therapist. So I am so excited about doing this course and helping all of you, especially those who are going through grief and loss, because I've worked with grieving clients for decades, and I know that nothing helps us shift grief more than seeing our lives through our divine lens, our soul's perspective. We have these two ways of viewing life. One is the ego mind, the human part of our journey that says, wow, life here is terrible and terrible things happen randomly, and my loved one has died tragically and is gone and out of my reach forever. That's the human story, and it is not true. We also have the soul story. I call it our divine lens view, that is always going, wait a minute, you agreed to this evolutionary journey of learning here on earth. You incarnated into this life on purpose for your own soul's evolutionary growth and to help all of consciousness wake up. Sounds like a big job, right? But we've all agreed to it. And that's why we're all in this earth realm having a human life, even though our true essence is as divine beings, souls on a journey, beings of light. So I want to share a vision that I had. Oh, it was about maybe 5 years ago. More than that, actually. And I had already been working with clients for decades. I had already been an author, speaking and teaching. And I was starting to see things happening in the world, in politics and everything, that were troubling me, because I've personally always believed that the light is always winning. But there were things unfolding that made me feel like, well, maybe I've just been a Pollyanna. I've been optimistic when the world is not that wonderful. Have any of you ever doubted your divine view when you look out at the world and everything that's happening? So I was in that place of questioning, and I'd come back from teaching a long workshop and I was really tired. So my body got sick, and I've learned that our bodies will sometimes choose an illness to aid in our soul's growth. In other words, help us peel back some layers of negativity, of fear that we need to get rid of so that we can really step up to our next highest level. Well, in this fever experience, I was knocked flat. I was in bed with 103 degrees of fever and a terrible cough. And this was before COVID came along, but I really thought I was dying. I was so nauseous. I couldn't eat. My fever was really racking my body. And this combination of high fever and no food for days and this terrible cough really sort of broke me wide open spiritually. And between bouts of fever, I would wake up, the fever would break temporarily, and I would just feel reborn. Like, wow, I'm getting visions in this fever and I'm learning new things. I can't even put words to it, but I'm so joyful and grateful. And then I would go back into the fever again. And one time when this was happening, I had an amazing vision, and I'm just going to share it with you. And you can look at this backdrop that my husband created for me to explain what my vision was. So I saw in this vision, I was taken by guides out away from planet Earth and shown it from a distance, just like this. And they showed me all of these sparks of light on Earth constantly waking up and sparking light and becoming a source of light. And as each light awakened, it sparked another light next to it until there was this moving river of light or higher consciousness spreading around the globe, one light sparking another and another and another. And bands of illumination of light circled the entire planet, enlightening all the dark crevices. And the spirit guides were whispering, "This is the story of human evolution unfolding before you, sparking from one light of divine consciousness to another into billions of these sparks of light that overcome darkness." The guides were whispering this in my ear. The light always wins. The love always wins. And it was clear, and I was being shown that no matter how things look here on earth, the ego view lens, our light, our love is always winning and always illuminating the darkness. The guides were really feeding me this and saying, you can't get lost in the negativity. You can't focus on the things that are wrong. You have to trust that the light is always winning, no matter how tragic the news can seem. And that turned out to be quite an important guidance for me as the next few years unfolded. And it also became what I began to write about and added to my teachings, calling it Your Divine Lens. How do we step into our divine lenses? And my newest book is Through a Divine Lens, all about this transformation that we all can have when we shift that point of view. So this experience for me became the concept of what are the tools that every person on earth, no matter what they're facing, can use to shift into this higher view. Well, I was very grateful that I'd been a master numerologist. And let me tell you why I was involved with that. In 1979, my beautiful young husband, Paul, died of cancer, died in my arms. We had been mountain climbers together. We taught for Colorado Outward Bound School. So we were all about helping people overcome their fears in the physical world and really learn to be courageous in the physical way. But I always knew that it was really more about how do we become spiritually courageous. And then my life lesson began of watching my beautiful mountain climbing husband die slowly of colon cancer and all the suffering he went through. And many of you watching have been through experiences like this, especially of losing a loved one who you cherished, who went through a journey of suffering. And if you know that our question then is always, why do good people suffer? If there's a God, how can this be happening? And how can I view this differently? Because I don't understand why I'm still here. Why can't I just go and join my loved one? Well, numerology came into my life at that time, 1980. I was gifted a numerology session by someone, and that moment of explanation about through sacred numerology changed my life. I instantly knew it was true. I believe I had studied the numbers in another life, or maybe I was one of Pythagoras's students way back in 580 BC when he was teaching sacred numerology, creating our number system, but it just instantly spoke to me. And I had had a childhood of always having spiritual out-of-body experiences, even when I didn't want to, even when it wasn't cool. I was having dreams that took me into other layers of reality, other kinds of consciousness. I saw spirit from the time I was young. I intuitively knew what people were thinking and doing. That was not fun. I grew up in the 50s, so I can tell you that that did not serve me, and I was trying to hide it the best that I could. If any of you are as old as me, you know that actually women were still being put away for their seeing spirits. My mom came from a Creole background of many ancestors with spiritual gifts and precognitive gifts and mediumship, and one of her oldest siblings was actually put into what we would call an asylum because of her spiritual experiences. So my mother's lesson to me was, yeah, that's all well and fine, but you know what? Shut up about it. It's only going to cause you trouble. And I'm sure many of you have also hidden your gifts because of similar fears. However, we reach a point where we know there's nothing else left for me to do here on earth except for own my truth, speak what I know to be true, and help others from what I've learned. So I've now spent almost 3 decades teaching clients how to align with their soul's purpose through numerology, how to connect to their departed loved ones through meditation, intuition, numerology. And I have connected to Paul, my husband, from the moment he left his body. He's been so present with me, teaching me so much. And I'm going to share more of that in future videos. But I want to also explain that as I began coming out of my experience with the fever vision a few years ago, I longed to take my work with clients and students into a deeper level where they could go and experience a vision like this, have their own conversations with the guides. So I studied with a wonderful teacher, Dr. Linda Bachman, and she taught me to be a soul regression therapist and take clients and students on a journey into the divine to connect with guides and spirit and departed loved ones. So it just added this extra boost to my work with clients. And I took to it like a duck to water again, because I've been going into these realms all of my lifetime for intuition, for downloads, for guidance. And now I was able to bring others on that journey. So I am so thrilled. In this course, I'm going to be bringing all of you on a guided meditation, a brief mini version of it, of going into the divine to connect to your spirit guides, especially if you've been grieving, you want to connect to your departed. I'm going to take you on that journey. I may take you to meet the Council of Elders, the highest evolved souls, and see what they have to say to help you. And I know from doing this every day with my clients that if you allow yourself to quiet your human mind, your ego story, your heart naturally opens. Your soul voice becomes the loudest voice in you, not the monkey mind. And you are able to completely hear and experience this other realm, even while you're still in your physical body. This is the greatest gift to all of us. And there are so many tools to use to help all of us do this. So I'm bringing an array of those tools, from numerology to soul regression and master numbers. I'm a master numerologist, but also I'm an ordained Unity minister. And the reason for that is I've been studying every spiritual path since the time I was a child. I grew up Catholic. As soon as I left home at 17, I was studying theosophy. I even visited the Theosophical Society in Chicago in the 70s. And I've studied Buddhism. I've lived and worked in a Hindu ashram. I know I've worked tremendously with Kundalini and deep meditative practices, had amazing teachers in that arena. And I've also studied unity. I've been a part of Unity Church's teachings that we are all part of God, and God is a loving consciousness that runs through all of us. And there is no man in the sky who punishes us or condemns us to hell. And that resonates completely with my own experiences of traveling in the divine realms and connecting to my departed loved ones who make this very, very clear to me. So I'm planning to share all of that with you. So here's what I've learned. We all can leave our bodies easily during certain brainwave states of relaxation that we can achieve through meditation, through deep sleep, through asking for help to go into those realms. And I will leave you today with a prayer that will ask for that kind of help for you. And during those times, whenever the human mind quiets, whenever the ego story shuts up, the soul travels. The soul is aligned with all of our spirit guides for messages and healing. It's really easy. And I tell people this, and people get mad at me and say, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Really, right now, just close your eyes, and I'm calling in my spirit guides and my departeds. I'm calling in Paul, Chrissy, my father, Marv, Chief Fool's Crow. They're all here now. They're filling me with spirit and with the words to speak to help all of you. And I'm asking all of my guides here to now help all of you experience the presence of these incredible beings who are here to help all of us. As soon as we cross over and leave the body, we ascend into these divine realms, and we have our soul review, which is where we see clearly and objectively what our actions and words and feelings, how they rippled out and affected others in our lifetime, and what our great potential is and was in the lifetime, and if we stepped up to it or not. But none of it is shown in a way that makes us feel bad. We just gain deep wisdom and understanding from it. And the minute we're here on earth and we call out for guidance, call out to our guides for help, they always arrive, of course, because we're all on the same team, helping humanity evolve. That's why we're all here. We're all connected in that. You can think of it as we're all spiritual Navy SEALs who agreed to drop into the hardest realm, the earth realm, in order to push consciousness here, to evolve it, to wake each other up while we're in the human journey. I believe we are thinning the veil, that we are creating a world here in this beautiful, dense realm of earth that is purely connected to spirit, spirit guides, departed. There is no death, so that we can live completely in both realms at the same time, all of us. But we have to shift a lot of consciousness to a higher vibration here to make that happen. So, what I want to share in my remaining minutes here is that all of you are divine beings on an intentional journey. There have been no accidents, no mistakes, and you're all doing exactly what you came here to do. You're learning exactly what you came here to learn. Get rid of the self-doubt. That's only an ego story. Your soul says, hey, you're doing so great. Keep going. Don't let your pain bog you down in the negative viewpoint. Use these tools to step up into your soul's view, your divine viewpoint. So in the next video, I'm going to share with you my 3 shared death experiences that'll rock your boat, because I know they changed my life and they totally informed my belief in the afterlife and that there is no death. So I'm going to share that next time. But I'm also going to leave you with a prayer. You can say this at night before you go to sleep, and it will help you have a dream vision experience of your own. So close your eyes and experience this prayer with me right now. Oh, beloved spirits, all of the departeds who cherish us, all of the guides who cherish us, whom we cherish, we call on you with open hearts, with quiet minds, with complete assurance that you are here to help us, to love us, to heal us. And so we rest easy in the night, trusting that you will carry us in our dreams, that you will carry us to sacred places of healing, that you will show us your physical selves so that we recognize you, feel you, touch you, smell you, and know that there is no death, and that you carry our sacred agreement. Our relationship is designed to help us wake up here on earth, and that there's nothing we have to do here on earth except trust in the divine presence of higher beings and sacred purpose. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm Reverend Sue Frederick. So excited we're on this course together, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.